Yardbirds drummer since 1963, Jim McCartney talks about what he thinks is the best incarnation of the band. Remember, they had Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page in that band. This is Rock History Music.
What's your favorite incarnation of the band? Do you have one?
Yeah, the Jeff one, the Shapes of Things incarnation. 1966.
Why?
I think that was when we were all gelling together, and it was a good chemistry and an exciting time. We suddenly came to the States. We were all very happy, and we were making it, and we loved coming to America. That was our dream, to come there.
What's the high point in your career when you look back? What's the thing? What's the one or a few things that you're the most proud of?
Well, probably the Hall of Fame. That was good. That was great. Yeah,
what do they give you, by the way? Sorry, what do they give you? Do they give? What do you get?
Oh, you get a lot, like a little statuette of a woman holding a little CD. Nothing very much.
Yeah. Did you keep your gold records and stuff like that throughout the years? Did you keep your stuff?
Not really. No, not like Bill Wyman did. But we never had many gold records. I kept a few things, but not masses.
What are your three quintessential Yardbird songs?
Well, I think Shapes of Things. That was great because it was. I thought it was. It broke a lot of barriers, and I thought it was very innovative and exciting. It was done at a very good time for the band when we were sort of a British invasion riding that wave. We recorded it in Chicago, and we all had a hand in the song, and I thought it was very exciting. That was probably the best, and then of course For Your Love, was probably the most popular, which was quite an unusual arrangement of the song. But that was fun. And I guess I remember Sideways Down because it was like real rock around the clock stuff, rockabilly.
It seems like I'm doing an obituary every day. Do you ever think, and I've asked a lot of rockers as I'm going, well, here you are, you're still around, you seem pretty healthy to me. Was that a choice? And was that an or did you have a bad lifestyle at one point and fix it up, or?
No, I don't think I ever really, apart from the few tabs of acid I took, I never really went over that line because I always found it. I always suffered every time I had more to drink than I should. I felt awful, and I thought, oh, I don't like feeling like this. It's not worth it,
Jim McCartney, you walk into the doctor's office, and there's a guy beside you, and he looks over at you, and do you want to go there? Because your story is, once you go there, your story's not small. The guy looks at you and he says, so what do you do? Or what did you do? Or whatever. Do you go there? Do you say, well, I'm in a little rock band? Because if you say that, they're going to say, do you know any songs that I would know? Because that's a long conversation. You know what I'm saying, though, right? Do you go there? If you're at a party, a get together, someone says, what's your modus operandi when people ask you, what do you do?
Yes, I didn't used to tell people. I used to just shy away from it. Just say, well, I do some music sometimes or something. But no, I'm pretty forthright now. I'd say, oh, well, I was in a 60s band, that was big. It's usually before your time. That's usually what I say. Oh, it's before your time. You might have heard of us. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Graham Goldman. I talked to him about 2 years ago, and I was familiar, and I know that I'd ask him, I said, well, you were just a young buck back then. You were just, people didn't necessarily know your name, right? How did you guys end up recording his songs?
It just went through like everyone else. It went through the management and manager to manager. And I think it came up with a publisher. When publishers used to be pluggers and used to go around with their acetate records and say, "Oh, do you want to hear this record for your next this acetate for your next record?" And there was a guy from a company called Feldman's that became part of EMI, and he saw us playing with the Beatles, and he thought he had the demo of "For Your Love." And he just thought, "Oh, this band would suit this song. I'll approach their management." So that's how it happened.
Tell me about that. Bet you mentioned that in the interview that we prefaced a while ago. You talk about that LSD trip and it took you completely off your game, right? You couldn't even play for a while, right?
No, I had a really bad reaction. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Not in the wrong place at the wrong time. I just didn't know what I was doing, so I really needed to be in a quiet place in a nice environment, not on the road somewhere. In some horrible motel somewhere.
Yeah. I was in Sedona, Arizona years ago, and someone said, "Hey, do you want to try some ecstasy?" I didn't do it. But I said, "Well, I just want to get deeper." And he says, "Yeah, but if you take it and go someplace that's good, if you have a good trip, try getting there without it next time. It's not going to be easy." I remember that really hit me of going, obviously thousands of people have gotten to whatever spot that is. Like when you're talking to your wife, that's a spot to be in. If you get there with drugs, but try getting there without drugs, right?
I know. I'm sure it's very difficult. Once you've done that and you try again, it must be quite quite weird.
We'll have another part of our second interview with original Yardbirds drummer. He's still with the Yardbirds. Jim McCartney, of course. There was Eric Clapton that went through that band. Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page. What the? There'll also be links to everything that is Jim McCartney, how you can listen to his brand new single, the book She Walks in Beauty, which is about his dearly departed wife, Lizzie, and a lot more. If you want to make a donation to the channel, there are links at the very top for PayPal. You can join our Patreon, get early access. There are exclusive content from this interview, which only Patreon members can see. It will never see the light of day on YouTube, only on Patreon. Or you can join our regular Patreon, get early access to all our videos. Subscribe to our channel. It's important. Like our videos, share them, and comment on them as well. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music. Take care.